Shut up and sit down.
Alright guys, I'm Dodge, this is Andy, and we've finally reached the end of the month of Nurgle.
Yay!
That was so unenthusiastic. It's been a long month.
Yeah.
Like 8 tutorials this week, or this month.
Which, to be fair, Dodge has done the majority of the tutorial work, but we'll get to the reasoning behind that later.
Yes we will. It's a good reason. It looks good.
Yeah.
So, well, first of all, we hope you've enjoyed the month of Nurgle, and we're going to do more things. We're not just going to stop because we finished the month of Nurgle. We wanted to cover things we like about the new changes to the Death Guard.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the first thing, which we barely scratched the surface on, is the new Death Guard Plague Marines.
We sort of glanced over it, I think, in the Codex review.
But the actual models themselves,
yeah, they are vastly improved.
Yeah.
You've seen us painting the old Finecast ones, and to be honest, they look like shit now in comparison.
Yeah, but not great. They had a lot of character comparative to the older Marine stuff, but when you put them at the side of the new Death Guard Marines, they're just not in the same league.
No. So, someone commented saying, why haven't you drilled the barrels out of the Herald of Despair video? It's like, because he's broke and he's Finecast and he's crap. He's probably going to go on a shelf or in a box somewhere and never be seen again.
And quite honestly, myself, I don't like drilling the barrels. I don't see the point in it. I don't like the way it looks. That's my opinion.
Plus, I've had to do 8 videos, so finding the time to drill barrels out of Marines while I'm doing everything else, not fun.
We just haven't got the time to. We haven't had the time to do that sort of thing, and I personally don't like it. I know a lot of you out there, you do, and that's cool. But you'll never see me drilling barrels, not out of choice anyway.
It'll be fine. I forgot to press play on the other camera. Yep, so, wait, no, what's going to happen now is we're going to be in a little box now. I'm going to fix it, I'm going to use a still image, and then we'll be down here somewhere.
Yeah, we'll be in a corner. Or
maybe in the top.
Yeah, we'll figure it.
I love that. We're recording a video. Yeah, we've messed it completely up straight away.
Good old-fashioned Bigmeks workshop here. It's best.
Yeah, always.
So, yeah, Death Guard stuff. The figs, obviously, as you've seen, various tutorials, what we've done, or anyone else as well for that matter. This guy I'm currently looking at is the Noxious Plaguebringer.
Lightbringer, it's really hard to see, it's a bit of a mouthful.
And there's loads of character to him. It's like he's got the whole bell thing going on, and Nurgle's hanging off him, and he's just generally a bit of a dude.
Remember
he looks interesting in game. He does look interesting in game. I don't know how he's going to perform. I'm not a Death Guard player, so I ain't going to use him.
I think he just really stands out on the battlefield. The big bell is reminds me of a church bell, and it really gives that sense of impending doom and morbidness.
Yeah,
that's a really cool feature.
So he strikes me as some kind of utility character, rather than a straight up fighter. So it's going to be interesting to see how they perform. If any of you guys know how these characters perform in yourselves, drop us a message, let us know, see if we're any good.
That's what the comments are for.
Yeah.
Like we said in the last video, we're getting a lot more comments than we used to. We can't respond to all of them. You ask a question and we see it, we tend to respond if we can, if we've got the time.
If we've got the time, we'll always respond. We can't guarantee we will though. But if you've got any feedback for us, like just letting us know how things perform on the table, we want to know, because you know, this is a game that we all enjoy to play.
Even more so now in 8th.
Even more so now in 8th, because it's just so much more diversity.
Before the end of this video, we will have some footage of the entire Chaos Swap Death Guard army that we've been working on over the past week while doing tutorials, and you'll start to understand why some of these videos have been coming out later than usual.
So yeah, that's the Blightbringer or Plaguebringer, whatever.
Noxious Blightbringer. It's really hard to say.
Yeah, easy to forget his name.
It is. I took this one off the base because I wanted to tack him to the lava base for, cheers mate, for the thumbnail, and he was kind of fun to paint. Those engines really do get in the way of the paint job, so I'd paint those separately, guys, like I said in the video. I've not seen them on the battlefield yet. We've just been calculating with the new Chaos Codex how many points we've got, and we overshot the mark.
Yeah, we were hoping for a 1500 point army.
And we've had to take some things out, and we're still mucking about with a list.
But it's looking like 2K is going to be quite easy.
Yeah, that's stuff that's actually painted as well.
Yeah, which sadly doesn't include a lot of the Dark Imperium stuff, because we just haven't had a chance to get to that.
No, will do, but it'll be airbrushing. We're going to go back to switching between airbrushing and paintbrush tutorials, guys, but I've said it a million times. If I'm doing this with an airbrush, you can get a wet palette and you can glaze and blend that with a brush. You just use the same colours. He was kind of fun to paint, and they're cheap on eBay at the moment as well, so it's a shame they don't come in multiple units. They come as singles. Been doing a little bit more work on the Forge Fiend, or Mauler Fiend. Let's push it back a bit further for us, mate. A bit to your left. Still converting him up, but just not at the time. What I'm going to do, after we've took a short break over the next week, is I'm going to put some bells and some other green stuff bits on. He's going to be a green stuff project for a while now, guys, because I've been getting questions. Can you do more green stuff tutorials?
And it's a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, they are coming. It's just my desk has been crammed with all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, you've been having to carry a lot of the weight on the tutorial video and video footing this last month. And
that's due to you not being able to get in, and it's the summer holidays.
Yeah, so I've not been able to get in all the time, real world problems and such, and obviously I've been busy doing my own project for the studio, which sadly we did have some video footage for it, but it just didn't come out.
No, it was before I adjusted all. Andy's terrible with the tech. I have to do all the tech.
I am.
The camera was still set to autofocus, and he was painting away, and that camera was just going mental trying to focus on everything. So I just decided, instead of putting up a terrible video like that, it was just best to bin it off and not bother.
Yeah.
So
which is a shame, because
the paint jobs are great.
There's some really cool stuff we've done, and it really did feel like I weren't pulling my side of the weight. But we did get one from Nurgle done, which is more Dodger's thing anyway. You like the
it's actually
stuff.
come up to about a year now, guys. We've been uploading currently for 11 to 12 months. So, and the first thing we did when we started this channel back up properly was a month of Nurgle.
Yeah.
So we said we'd do it. It only took a year.
It took a year to get back round to it.
So when I say green stuff videos are coming, I will get around to it.
Soon.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Well, you know, when the warp's involved, time's pretty linear, you know, it could go any direction.
But yeah, so this is pretty much a bit of a 1 year anniversary for us as well.
It is, because the YouTube channel says we started in 2014. That was when I was working on my own out of a cellar. Not good, not fun. Company when painting in the studio is everything. The banter's always good.
Yeah, you've got to have a laugh, otherwise what's the point in doing what you're doing?
Andy did get around to painting half, I think, of the Poxwalkers.
Yeah, and the only reason I only painted half of them, I've only half painted two, is that I couldn't find the other half.
We found them now. We found them now, so they will be getting done. I think Andy's done a bunch of green ones. I reckon I'll do a bunch of purple ones, and we'll mash them up in the same unit.
Yeah, but just need finishing off. Obviously the two tutorial ones are done. We're fairly happy with them. The rest of them, they need finishing off, but we're in a state where they look good on the table, and that's all that matters.
And that's what I mean. the list we've got at 1,500 points doesn't even have the Poxwalkers in it. That's how over the top I went painting this stuff.
I was a little bit disappointed about with Poxwalkers not being in that list because, let's face it, they're cool figs and they are actually quite groovy in the game.
Oh, they really are. You need to couple them alongside a sorcerer so you can minus the toughness of whatever they're attacking to make more Poxwalkers. I think that'd be a worthwhile technique.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely got some utility in there.
If they charged a bunch of gaunts,
we're gonna ruin them.
yeah, and then some buffs from your sidekick, all of a sudden that turns into a horde of Poxwalkers coming the opposite way. That'd be awesome.
And that's what I like about it. We've got that whole creep in their vibe, and it really makes an interesting unit.
Oh, it really does. Finally, some actual zombies.
Yeah, proper zombies.
The cheaping points, they don't last long on the table, but what can you say? They've got disgusting resilient, I think.
Yeah, they're fairly tough, you know, and given the right buffs, the right situation, if you've got Typhus and the guy from the Forge World book, you've got a potential for a very tough little unit there.
Yeah. Basically a new tar pit, but with the perk of adding new stuff. And they don't pay any cost for having more models come on the battlefield. It's awesome, unlike the Trigon, the
Tervigon.
Tervigon, yeah.
Yeah, but Tervigon's a very interesting bit of kit though. But that's for a different day.
Yeah, now you have to pay for those models, whereas the Poxwalkers, basically, you just keep getting more models if you can kill things with them. I love that. I think that's a brilliant feature, and I would like to write them in the 2,000 point list.
So we've got a couple of old Finecast Plague Marines here.
That were stripped of paint and repainted.
Yeah.
See if I can focus this in a bit better for you guys.
Now, for those of you in the UK, we use Wilco's Clean Spirit.
Yeah, it's brilliant. People like to use Dettol. That destroys Finecast.
Yeah, and also it gets a real nasty black gunk on the with the paintwork.
Yeah.
I don't know why it doesn't work in the same way. It doesn't. It just doesn't seem to work as well as its Clean Spirit. Now, obviously, you guys from around the world are going to have access to your own stuff. So please, again, drop messages in the.
Yeah, that's actually some very important information. Everyone's always asking.
Please share in the comments what you're using for stripping your figs, because people all over the world can't get all of the same stuff. So
some people are using Motor Royal or Simple Green, but
yeah,
like Andy's saying, depends where you're from. So definitely drop a comment if you're stripping models. Let us know what you're using.
Yeah,
I'm sure we've got subscribers all over the world, and I'm sure they'd like to know as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so share get the information out there so everyone can make the best out of their figs.
Especially seeing as the game's so good now. Get those models from 10 years ago. Let's get them stripped and paint it back up. The Finecast ones, I did want to do another one. Time didn't allow it. I can't remember what the other one was called. But we opened the Dark Imperium box, we had a look through and thought...
Some interesting colour schemes.
There's some interesting colour schemes that Games Workshop's come up with. My favourite has to be the Lords of Contagion.
That's the bright one, yeah?
It's the bright one with the pink tone to its armour.
Ah, him laying down.
Yeah, he was definitely by far my favourite.
I quite like the really bright green one. I thought
that's the Herald of Despair.
The bright green is a very interesting take on the Nurgle thing. Because classically they're a very sort of drab, natural sort of palette. And the really, really bright colours just makes for a really interesting looking Nurgle army. So yeah, I was rather taken by that colour scheme, what you did.
Just mainly on the basis that it's very different.
Yeah.
I thought that really fitted with the fluff as well. They like to orbital bombardment supply lines and then watch famine and disease take over from space, which is like, that kind of makes sense as to why their armor's still quite clean.
Yeah, sorry, you're not going out, not getting into the real dirty fighting, so they're just mopping up when things have been mashed up.
I think it's one of those armies that would definitely stand out.
Yeah.
If you had a full army of the Heralds of Despair.
Yeah, they'd look really interesting.
Hell Brutes and Forge Fiends in that armour scheme.
Yeah, that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, they look pretty good. Still a fan of the Lords of Contagion though.
Yes,
overall.
it's just it's a personal preference. You went for the more of the pinky brown colours.
Because I thought that was different. When
It's
I was painting
unusual,
them,
yeah.
I thought the Lords of Contagion just had pink rot, but no, they have a blue Nurgle's rot, and their armour is just two-tone,
Yeah.
which I thought was interesting. Gloom Lords was just an extreme high contrast by Games Workshop, with
Yeah.
luminous green and dark black.
That's the guy lying down, yeah?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't that good.
Again, though, it works well with the Death Guardy theme, you know, the dark colours,
Yeah.
with the extreme bright highlights just to break it up. It works well on the palette. So, all the different colour schemes, what they produced in the Dark Imperium box set were nice in their own way.
Yeah.
I was at one point hoping to get a classic Death Guard paint job from the Heresy era on one of the new on one of the Plague Marines, as I think that would look really interesting. The crisp white with all the Nurgle rot would look interesting.
Except it's white, so you'll be using Celestia greys.
Yeah.
Although that's slightly blue tone, so you're looking. Looks like you'll be going to the game colour range or the model air range for that one.
Yeah.
You need that yellowy grey.
Yeah, more of an ivory.
Yeah. Which can be, we understand it can be a pain to find those bloody colours.
Yeah. It can be very difficult to find the exact right colour you need. Sometimes it's layers upon layers, as exampled on these guys.
Oh, these guys, I love doing these. They're not finished guys, but they're ready for a tabletop.
So these are the possessed, what Dodge kit bashed from.
I didn't intentionally kit bash them. What happened was I dug out loads of stuff from the from my old armies, realised that I'd got a bunch of possessed, and well, half of them were missing arms. So then I used the Forsaken from Fantasy, realised I had a bunch of that sat around, and realised that the arms almost joined to the Space Marine sized bits perfectly. So just started mucking about kit bashing them. See if I can show one or two of them. The dynamic. Yeah, go on, Andy.
I'm just saying. So for those guys who are into the converting work and are looking at getting some possessed, that would be a good route to go down. Get some possessed and some Forsaken. Makes the unit a bit more expensive, yeah, but a lot more interesting as well.
A bit more expensive. I built these, then checked out how much it would cost to buy more kits for them. My wallet just sort of keeled over and died.
Yeah, there was palpitations in the studio when we worked out the price.
I think
They're not cheap, but then again, guys who are doing the converting, you
I
know the
think
score.
it was one box of Forsaken, which you end up with spare parts from, and then you've got 2 or 3 boxes of Possessed. Now they're expensive on their own.
Yeah.
So that's was like 60 quid there, plus your Forsaken at like 20 to 30. So you're looking at like 75, 80 quid-ish. I can't remember the exact prices for a unit of about 15.
Yeah. So not cheap, but the you converting types, you know the score. Converting work never is cheap, but you know your way around the kits, so you know how to get the best value out of it.
And just to let you guys know, the heads for those actually fit really, really well. So if you're doing a Nurgle army and you want some Possessed or just something looking a bit Nurgle-y, the heads from the Forsaken fit almost perfectly into
a breastplate.
Yeah, I mean, a tiny bit of green stuff work was done on these just for support around the arms to put them together, but besides that there was basically just a pure kit bash.
Yeah.
And
it made for an interesting looking unit. They really, having the extra features from the Forsaken really gave them that bit more, a few more style points.
a bit more character, because the GW one come in a kit of 5, and if you've got enough bits for these kit bashing them together, you can make them all look individual without really trying to.
Yeah.
I sort of like that, but unfortunately the codex didn't buff them as hard as I would have wanted them to.
Yeah, we would, which we've mentioned in a different video.
But yeah, they've taken a fair few days just to paint those to that standard.
But this, going back to what we're saying about the layers of the paintwork, now if you can see on the flesh work, there's the purples and the pinks and also sort of a blue tone, which is just done by layering up, is it right?
Yep, pretty much. I actually use the technique from the bright coloured screamers on these by putting washes on their armour and also putting washes on the flesh at the same time, and using the medium to mix them in between, because there's no clear definition on the possessed where their armour starts and their flesh begins. Doing that and then taking your brush, drying it and taking bits in and out will give them a real, I don't know what the word would be, but they blend between armour and flesh quite seamlessly.
Yeah.
Mainly all done with airbrush work currently and washers, but obviously I've got to pick out all the edges of the armour, different coloured weapons, do some more work on them, but they'll do on the tabletop.
Yeah, and to get the same sort of weird tones without an airbrush, it's just a case of using thin layers.
Pretty much. You could start with your brighter colour and then just wash your darker colours into there to save yourself time.
And it's just a matter of using the paints in a different way to what you'd expect to use it. Making sure that the paint's incredibly thin for paintbrush work, and then you get these really weird colours where you can see different tones coming through.
These were sort of a colour experiment. I was trying to work out a colour system for something else. Can't really get that to pick up the colour because there's too many of them on the table.
Just pull a few out of the way then.
There's a lot of purples and pinks because I don't like to do the traditional Nurgle colours. Maybe you guys do. Let us know what colour you're doing Nurgle. I've seen people do yellow armour and luminous green flesh. I've seen red flesh, blue flesh. It's Nurgle, it's pustules and it's sore, so you can...
Yeah, if you've got any photos of your army that you want to show off, drop us a message in Facebook, and feel free to post on there, and we'll link the photos of what you want everyone to see. Feel free for that. We're more than happy to get people showing off their own stuff.
Yeah,
that's what our Facebook's for. Because we like to see different variations of the same stuff. What we've got, it's like you've got your own tastes and colour schemes. We'd like to see these.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much covered everything. It doesn't seem like that much, but
it's a lot of work.
What we're going to do now is show you the entire army so far, because we're hoping to do a battle report, and then we're going to show you why Andy's not been doing much of the Nurgle stuff as well. So we'll be right back in a minute.
So this is the reason why I've not been doing so many tutorials.
Yeah. Well, you did, and then we lost the footage.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't lose the footage. It was
crap.
Yeah.
It was crap. No point mincing words. The footage weren't up to scratch. You weren't going to be able to see anything interesting, so there was no point releasing it.
We are buying extra lights for your desk. So your videos will then have the white background and same sort of setup as what we've got on my videos. So that way we can double the outage of decent videos.
Yeah.
And this is what Andy's been working on, because we needed to finish the Dark Imperium set. And a lot of hours have gone into this.
Yeah.
A lot.
And because I'm awkward, obviously I made it difficult on myself by painting yellow. Which was done in the same way as the Gorkanaut was done.
Yes, the filthy brown.
The filthy brown colour. Which just makes a really, really nice yellow colour for Imperial Fists, as it happens.
It's not... What I like about that colour for any of these things is it's not a luminous yellow, it's not a childish play brick yellow, it's not even a really dirty yellow, it's right in the middle.
Yeah, it just hits the markers just nice. So you wind up with getting a very sort of, how I would envision the Imperial Fists colour scheme to be. Not over bright, not too dark, a very nice matte yellow. Well, stands out against against the terrain, but isn't day glow.
Yeah, something I can't stand with yellows is luminous
Yeah.
yellows and bright things.
So yeah, if you want to copy this colour, it's the same system what we use in the Gorkanaut videos.
Yep.
And it's exactly the same.
Except for the edge highlighting, which you mixed in a bit of ivory.
Yeah, I used a bit of ivory on the edge highlighting to make them stand out that bit more. Obviously, I won't go in for a Golden Demon level paintwork.
No, it's just a high tabletop,
Yeah.
which is usually what we do for commission work as well. We've already had someone offering to buy these, which is good because
Yeah.
that money keeps the studio open, so we can make more tutorials, more stuff.
Yeah, and play more games and generally screw around more.
No, we're very professional.
So, and rather interestingly, this army was also my first real attempts at doing OSL properly, and I'm quite happy with the results.
Do you want to move one of those plasmas a bit closer?
Yeah.
Back a bit, Nick. Just put him in line with that front row. There we go. Yeah, that's about right. Hopefully they can see that properly.
Yeah. So they were my first real attempts at doing OSL. I'm quite pleased with the results, considering I've not had any real experience with it.
This was OSL with an airbrush though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was done with an airbrush.
You've attempted OSL without an airbrush.
That's a lot of work.
It is. And to be honest, you did a really good job to say it was your first attempt at it, but you've got a better airbrush than you used to have.
Yeah.
That, what is it, 0.15 millimeter needle definitely helps there.
Yeah.
It's having the confidence after you've put all that effort in, all that effort into your model, to then point an airbrush at it with an luminous opposing colour and pray to all the gods, all the new, that it doesn't shoot off centre and just.
Oh yeah,
it's got a yellow helmet now, or a blue helmet. Oh great.
Yeah, it's very daunting when you've spent so many hours painting.
I spent most of those weeks where I was doing the Nurgle stuff painting these.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing over the last few weeks. Just slowly plugging my way through them.
They will be going up on eBay as a commission listing after we've had a short holiday.
Yes.
After we've had a break anyway for a week.
Once we've had the chance to work out the numbers.
Yeah, because it's a bit awkward at the moment.
Yeah.
Until Games Workshop. Have they released them all as one box yet? No. Well, we're sort of waiting for that so we can figure out what the numbers are.
But don't be in any doubt, these will be going up for sale in either these colours or any other colours you want.
We may also be seeing them on the battlefield, because we will do battle reports now. We've got the board, we've had that a month, and then Dark Imperium came out, and we've been busy ever since.
Yeah. Dark Imperium's made us really busy.
It has. What's the next box that's coming out?
No idea.
I don't think we want to know.
So, that's it for the Imperial Fists. If you want to stop.
Yep, can do, and we'll
show you.
We'll come back in a sec and show you the entire army so far of Death Guard. And that's all of last year's month of Nurgle.
Yep, and this year's as well.
Well, most of it.
So we're getting there. It's going to be a really interesting looking army.
I can't believe how quickly we exceeded that 1,500 points, and we've not even got everything added up yet.
Yeah.
See, we've got 7 Death Guard, 7 Death Guard and 6 Death Guard, Fetid Bloat Drone, 3 Plague Drones, Hell Brute, 2 Rhinos from last year, 11 Possessed, there's 4 more unpainted somewhere. This is just what we got painted. Some Cultists that we may have to proxy as Poxwalkers.
Close enough.
Until we can finish the Poxwalkers off. A Noxious Blightbringer, and a Chaos Lord and Terminator armour with an arm missing.
Whoops. Obviously there's no Colin because his unit isn't finished.
No, Colin's still on the shelf, but we'd like to get him finished. It's a minimum of 10 in the plague bearer
Yeah.
units, so
Somehow we've only got 9.
skills. So as you can tell, we've been working really hard trying to paint this up for the battle reports, and hopefully over the next week we'll have a battle report for you guys, and that'll be the first one.
Of many.
Sort of a way of celebrating a year.
Yeah, a year in the studio, yeah. 8 months in our current building,
Yep,
which has flown by.
really has. It's the longest we've ever had a building after all shenanigans we've had to go through to get one.
Yeah, it's been a headache at times.
Yeah, but we finally got a table set up and everything else.
So yeah, touch wood, in a few weeks, over the next few weeks we'll be rolling some dice for you guys.
We've got enough armies around, it's just getting them painted. We've got, well, that's basically the roundup for the entire month of Nurgle. Although we do have some other armies around, they need finishing. We might throw a few of them into tutorials.
Yeah, there's always plenty for us to do. We've got loads of stuff knocking about before we even go out and look for new kits.
Even though we've got new kits.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got there'll be a tutorial for a Land Raider.
Land Raider, Hive Tyrant,
We have a Forge
Fiend.
Fiend, or 2.
I'll probably paint that one up once I've finished the Green Stuff series.
And I might well do some more, well, I will be doing some more Nightlord stuff over the near future. Whether I record it, whether I record it or not is a different matter, but there'll always be something on my desk getting painted blue.
Well, I think that's it for this video. If you watched this entire lengthy video, thanks guys.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Hopefully we can do another themed month at some point when something else comes out, but be a bit more prepared for it this time.
Yeah, we were dabbling with the idea of a Necron sort of theme last year.
The problem with that is there's no diversity in it. If you picked a colour scheme, it just carries through the entire army.
It would be nice to do some videos for the Necrons.
Yeah.
Just see what comes out over the next few months.
That's true. So, thanks for watching guys. Hit that subscribe and like button. Leave a comment, let us know what you guys think. And hopefully we'll see you in a battle report soon.
Take it easy guys. Ta-ta.